The anointed ones, welcome. Rest well, because we will rise tomorrow. That's a luxury your detractors will never have. While you sleep soundly, they stay awake, haunted by the thought of your existence, unsettled by your success. You never ask to live rent-free in their minds. Yet here you are, taking up prime real estate. Elon Musk searched for you, not in the noise, but in the silence. In the spaces where others hesitated, where doubt crept in, where lesser minds sought approval before daring to act. But you shattered the invisible laws of mediocrity, walked paths that weren't paved for you, and dared to keep moving when the world expected you to fold. Your every step is a disruption. Your very breath is a reminder of what they could have been, but never became. That's why they watch, why they stress, why they can't sleep. You weren't supposed to get this far. You weren't supposed to make it look this effortless. Yet here you are, thriving while they binge-watch their own frustration, replaying the same late-night loop of, why won't they just fail already? Let them lose sleep over you. You, chosen one, have a world to rebuild when morning comes. First of all, despite their hatred for you, they are unable to quit researching you. Whether they acknowledge it or not, haters are fixated on you. They study you, not just despise you. They learn your routines, observe your movements, and scrutinize everything you do in an effort to find a weakness they may use against you. The irony is that they unintentionally begin to learn from you while they are out to destroy you. As if it were their full-time job, they monitor your development. They analyze your victories in an effort to uncover the key to your success. Additionally, they become rattled if you do anything unexpected. They can't just let it go. They mentally reenact your activities and wonder why their own lives don't appear to be progressing as yours is. They find it annoying and it keeps them awake at night. They tell themselves that they don't deserve it, but a little voice in the back of their mind tells them that it may be them and not you. They've made you their own case study, but unlike true academics, they want to discredit you rather than advance. They take notes in an attempt to detect you sliding, not to apply lessons. They still take in your energy, your attitude, and your tactics while doing this, however. Some even begin copying you without even recognizing it, taking little aspects of your uniqueness. The worst part, however, is that the more people attempt to understand you, the more lost they become, because what really makes you unique isn't just what you do, but who you are. And no matter how many sleepless hours they try, they will never be able to replicate that. Second, they can't sleep at night because of their own mediocrity. It's simpler to blame you than to face the truth. But your detractors aren't really angry with you. They're angry with themselves. Every time they see your success, it makes them think of all the things they might have done, but chose not to. The chances they passed up, the ambitions they gave up because they lacked the guts to pursue them, and the late hours they spent moping rather than working. It suddenly seems like a smack in the face to watch you advance while others remain stagnant. Although they know deep down that it's untrue, they persuaded themselves that life is unjust, and that you must have had it easier, or that you were fortunate. They had the same 24 hours. They had opportunities, but they chose not to seize them. They now focus their efforts on tearing you down, as if it will somehow level the playing field, rather than improving their own circumstances. Your achievement serves as a continual reminder of their own unrealized potential, which is why they want to sleep, but are unable to do so. Not because of anything you have done to them specifically. They can't stop thinking about what-ifs. What if they had worked harder? What if they had possessed self-confidence? What if, rather of offering justifications, they had accepted the chance? The worst thing? Even while they are aware that there is still time to make a change, they choose to remain resentful and watch from the sidelines in the hopes that you will fail, so they won't have to feel guilty about their own inactivity. However, the more victories you have, the more agitated they become because, deep down, they don't hate you. They detest that you constantly show them how wrong they are. The third is that they can't even be themselves, but they want to be you. Haters don't simply despise you. They are envious of who you are, including your self-assurance, fortitude, and ability to navigate life without seeking approval. They wish they had it, but they choose the simpler path of anger rather than improving themselves. They monitor everything you do, even if they claim they can't stand you. While they covertly take notes, they roll their noses at your achievements. Despite their passion, they behave as if they are superior to you. In actuality, they have no idea who they are. When they see someone like you, someone who dares to be different, it disturbs them because they've spent so much time trying to fit in and be what other people expect. They make fun of you, but they secretly wish they had your bravery. They wish they could live freely without looking for approval, stand out the way you do, and embrace their power the way you do. However, they are unable to do so since being like everyone else is the foundation of their identity. Additionally, people are forced to face a truth they don't want to face when they see you being really you. They lash out in an attempt to make you feel inferior to them because they are stuck in a life they never really chose. If they can make you question yourself and make you shrink, then they won't feel so little in comparison. The fact that you don't need their approval, however, is what really bothers them because, in the end, they want to be you, not just despise you, and they can't cope with that awareness. Fourth, despite their prayers for your demise, they see you succeed. Haters actually want you to fail. They don't merely despise you. They don't simply wish you lose. They practice it in their imaginations, enacting every situation in which you fall flat on your face. They sit with their arms crossed, waiting for the moment you slip, the moment life knocks you down, so they can finally declare, "I knew it." The odd thing about life, however, is that it doesn't follow their commands. You always get back up when they expect you to fall apart. Every failure they celebrate turns out to be a prelude to your next major victory. They find it frustrating because, in their minds, you ought to have finished by now. You ought to have given up. You ought to have let their comments to shatter you. Nevertheless, you get up every morning, continue, and disprove them once again. As they wait for terrible news, they update their timelines. They cling to tales they hear in the hopes of proving you're not as tough as you seem. The more they wish for your collapse, the higher you rise, so it eats them alive to see you succeed rather than fail. Additionally, they are always looking for fresh reasons to distrust you after every new victory. In actuality, they were never ready for your tenacity. They didn't think that the strain they placed on you may really make you more resilient, smarter, and unstoppable. They are now forced to witness a tale they never intended to see happen, a drama in which the protagonist, the person they vowed to fail, continues to triumph. What's the greatest part? Your accomplishment speaks for itself, so you don't even need to answer them. Fifth, they can't get away from you because you are a mirror. Your success exposes your critics, not simply annoys them. They are forced to face a hard reality when they see you succeeding. They are not where they want to be, and it is not due to you, luck, or some great injustice. Rather, it is their own fault. They witness your success and realize how much they might have been if they had put in the effort. However, they become resentful rather than inspired because they realize that they had the same chances and potential as you, but lack the self-control, bravery, or foresight to take advantage of it. It's psychological, not personal, which is why they despise you. Their explanations are just that, excuses, and you are live evidence of it. They find that realization intolerable. So instead of working on improving their own lives, they devote all of their efforts to destroying you because if they can persuade themselves that your achievement is unworthy, it will absolve them of responsibility for their own shortcomings. The problem with mirrors, however, is that they always reflect the truth, regardless of whether you cover them, avoid them, or even shatter them. They are unable to get away from you because of this. Despite their greatest efforts to avoid you, their curiosity always wins out. They follow your development and check in with you in the hopes of spotting any indication that you're having difficulties. Instead, they see your success, which compels them to examine their own inertia. It's not simply jealousy, it's self-loathing projected onto you, which is why their hate is so strong. What's the most hilarious part? Because you're enjoying your life while they spend their time observing you, the more they obsess about you, the more they contribute to their own suffering. Sixth, they worry that you will disprove them once again. Haters distrust you to safeguard their own brittle egos, not merely for fun. Every time they criticize you, they wager in private that there's no way they'll succeed. Once they lay that wager, your success becomes their greatest fear. It's not just about showing them incorrect, it's also about the implications for them. If you prevail, it indicates that they were mistaken, that their pessimism was unwarranted, and that their whole belief that individuals like you are incapable of succeeding is destroyed. They really hope you'll fail, since that's a difficult pill to take. They keep a watchful eye on you, waiting for you to make a mistake so they can feel validated. The issue is that you adapt rather than slide. You take their skepticism, their jokes, and their rumors and use them as fuel. Every time they believe you've peaked, you surpass yourself. Their worry increases with each fresh victory because they no longer simply seem stupid for questioning you once. They now appear silly for doubting you repeatedly. And their confidence is undermined every time they are shown to be mistaken. They begin questioning themselves. What else are they wrong about if they were wrong about you? What more might they have accomplished in their own lives? Had they just trusted in themselves rather than knocking others down, may they have gotten further ahead. They lose sleep as a result of having to confront the reality that they gambled against you and supported the incorrect notion. And now they are losing, as long as you continue to rise. And what frightens them the most? You simply keep proving them incorrect, and there's no end in sight. The seventh is that they have a stronger addiction to your life than to their own. Haters want to seem as if they don't give a damn about you, yet their behavior betrays their true feelings. They constantly keep an eye on your every action, update your social media accounts, and somehow appear to know what you're up to before your true fans do. The reality? They care more about your life than they do about their own. They talk about you in group chats, breaking down your decisions, victories, and failures. Anything to keep you in the forefront of their minds. They wake up thinking about you. They browse over your pages, hoping to find something to critique. What are they doing for themselves, however, while they're occupied with observing you? Nothing. And the true sorrow lies in that. They spend their time worrying about your aspirations, rather than pursuing their own. They concentrate on your achievement, rather than their own. They can't interrupt the loop, since you have become their source of amusement, inspiration, and annoyance, all combined into one. Their preoccupation is self-inflicted, which is the issue. They decide to follow you and keep an eye on your progress. But what really keeps people up at night is not just that you're winning, but that they are squandering their life watching someone else succeed, rather than forging their own path. The more they watch, the worse they feel about their own lack of development. It's really ironic. They used to despise you, but now they see you as the protagonist. They reload their feeds in search of an excuse to feel better, but instead they discover more evidence of your invincibility. Additionally, they contribute to their own suffering the more they observe. Right now, they are losing a war against themselves, so you don't even need to answer them. The eighth is that you are the warden of their prison-like psyche. Your detractors have constructed a mental prison and trapped themselves within, but they are unaware of it. Envy makes up the walls. Insecurity makes up the bars, and their own opinions about you serve as the shackles that hold them in place. They think about you when they wake up and when they go to sleep. Since they are unable to break free from the addiction they have created, every action you do and every accomplishment you make serves to reinforce their bonds. They believed it would be simple to ignore you, but they are unable to do so. You torment them, no matter how much they try to look unconcerned. Even if you haven't done anything wrong, your victories seem like personal assaults. What's the worst? They feel more helpless the more you prosper. They can't decide how the world perceives you. They can't halt your progress, and they don't control the story. And they go crazy because of that lack of control. The irony is that they placed themselves in this predicament. You never pleaded with them to keep an eye on you or asked for their attention. But in some way, you've taken over as their primary concern and late-night fixation. They are imprisoned in their own brains, reliving past arguments, rehearsing past grievances, and dissecting your accomplishments as if it were their full-time work. You're free in the interim. You're going about your life, doing new things, and hardly thinking about them. Because you're out in the real world making things happen while they're trapped in their mental loop of jealousy, that's what makes it so stressful for them. They can't bear to see you succeed, but they can't turn away either. So the more you elevate, the more stuck they feel. The ninth is that you are blessed even when they attempt to condemn you. Haters believe they can control you with their words. They aim to harm your reputation by spreading stories, talking behind your back, and portraying you in a bad light. However, they are unaware that their pessimism is really helping you. They keep you current each time they bring up your name. They pique people's interest in you each time they disparage you. People like debate, forming their own ideas and figuring out who is the subject of rumors. Therefore, your detractors are promoting you for free when they spread the word about you. Unbeknownst to them, they are exposing you. Some of the individuals who hear their criticism will research you and discover the reality rather than the falsehoods. They will see your efforts, accomplishments, and sincerity. In an instant, your detractors unintentionally present you to new allies. When their hatred motivates you, it's even more hilarious. You turn around and do something that they claim you can't do. They want you to fail, yet their skepticism just motivates you to put in more effort. And when you achieve, they appear dumb based on their own comments. They intended to condemn you, but instead, they made your triumph even more delightful. Haters are unaware that their efforts to knock you down are really making you stronger. Their goal is for you to lose, yet everything they do, say, whisper, and say simply makes you feel more enraged. And you've already won. It's too late by the time they know what they've done. The 10th is that you make them feel out of control. Haters are angry because they have no control over the fact that you are winning, not merely because you are winning. Their goal is to determine who will be successful, respected, and influential. However, you disregarded their regulations. You took your own route, made your own decisions, and demonstrated that you never needed their approval in the first place. What really keeps people up at night is that lack of control. Like gatekeepers who decide who gets a place at the table, they want to feel in control. They are completely shaken by the fact that you strolled right by them, made your own table, and now other people are putting up chairs to join you. They have made every effort to take back control. They attempted to underestimate you in the hopes that you would become smaller, but that failed. They attempted to damage your reputation by gossiping, but that also failed. They even attempted to ignore you, but it just served to highlight your brilliance. They are utterly frustrated that they are unable to halt your ascent. They worry that their own power would wane if others see your excellence. They worry that if you keep growing, their opinions will be ignored, since, in their universe, manipulation, not merit, determines success. You're a live reminder that true skill, true work, and true tenacity always prevail in the end, and that's the ultimate loss for them. Not only that you're winning, but that they have no influence over it. They thrive on manipulating perceptions. 11th, their deepest fear is your potential. Haters are afraid of what you might do, not simply what you have actually done. Their worry eats away at them as they see the first indications of something that cannot be stopped. They're afraid of where you're going, not simply angry about where you are right now, for they know in their hearts that you're only getting begun. It frightens them when they see the momentum growing, the doors opening, and the way others are beginning to understand your value. Because what will you be in 5 years if you're already this successful, important, and powerful in 10? They detest that idea, since it implies that their criticism was ineffective if you continue to rise. It implies that their rumors, their misgivings, and their hidden hopes for your failure were all in vain. It indicates that they squandered all of their efforts attacking you just to have you repeatedly disprove their claims. What's the worst? They are aware that they cannot ignore it. You will be successful everywhere. You will do the things they claimed you would never do. You'll travel further than the locations they said you would never go. They will also be reminded every time they glance around that, despite their hopes that you would fail, you were out there becoming unstoppable. Because your narrative isn't even close to being completed, they are terrified and can't sleep. Not because of what you did, but because of what they know is coming. The 12th is that they are unable to understand why you continue to win. Haters are irate scientists doing unsuccessful tests. They have done everything, including casting doubt on you, slandering your reputation, and even putting barriers in your way. But nothing appears to be working. You get higher each time they anticipate you to fall. They don't comprehend it, therefore they can't tolerate it. They believe that there is a formula for success that can be predicted: privilege, connections, or outside approval. However, you don't follow their reasoning. You keep surpassing them, even if you don't follow their rules. Their inability to find an explanation keeps them up at night as they question how you manage to succeed in spite of their negative. They spread rumors about you in an attempt to incite opposition, but instead, they provide you with free exposure. They put up obstacles in the hopes that you would slow down, but you end up getting past them, or worse, using them as stepping stones. The thing that baffles them the most is that their hatred makes you stronger rather than weaker. Every failure they celebrate ends up being another opportunity to improve your abilities. Their interest about you only grows with each rumor they share. They anticipate you to shatter, but you change and grow instead. They keep attempting to pull you down, and you keep demonstrating that nothing can stop you. It's an unending circle. They can't figure out how you do it, so they lose sleep over it. What's the actual kicker? The solution has always been there for them. It's your attitude. You don't need validation, shortcuts, or outside permission, because they have spent so much time scheming against you rather than developing themselves. They will never comprehend the purpose, discipline, and resilience with which you move.